Aaron Rodgers is looking at Dak Prescott's contract right now, and he is mad. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Cowboys still going to be 8-8, Grossi. And breaking news, the Dallas Cowboys have come to a long-term deal with their quarterback, Dak Prescott. After the past couple of years and them franchise tagging him, obviously he suffers this horrific injury last year, and then there's rumors that he's going to get franchise tagged again. The two sides have come together, and boy, oh boy, holy crap, is this an enormous contract. 4 years, $160 million, up to $164 million, with a no-trade clause built in, a no-tag provision, and a guaranteed whopping $126 million. Whew! Dak got his money. This comes out to an average of $42 million over the first 3 years of the deal. The final year, $34 million. He has a $66 million signing bonus and is making $75 million in year one, which is, that's a lot of money. Now, that being said, the Cowboys were about $20 million over the cap, so they had some wiggle room for them to operate. But obviously, the fallout of this is going to be extensive. Now, the Cowboys are going to be having a press conference on Wednesday to further out some details, but it kind of felt like the Cowboys really had no choice here. Dak Prescott was scheduled to be a free agent, which most likely was never going to happen because the Cowboys would have just tagged him once again and would have just driven up that price if they just re-signed him next year, because they really worked themselves into a corner. Because when they didn't sign him to a long-term deal last year, well, then they were like, all right, well, we're just going to push it ahead, and if he does really well, then we're just going to pay him even more money. He got hurt last year, and now they came at the fork of the road once again. And they decided, instead of just waiting another year in which they were going to have to probably pay him even more money because the ceiling for QB contracts just keeps going up and up and up, they decided to bite the bullet and do it now. Now, for the Cowboys, oh God, they better pray that this pays off because they have some pretty significant contracts that they're paying. Obviously, guys like Ezekiel Elliott and, of course, Dak Prescott, that offensive line does need to get rebuilt just a little bit. But you saw how the Cowboys offense operated without Dak Prescott last year. If you look back in his last full season in 2019, he threw for almost 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and had 11 interceptions. In 2020, before he got injured, he had over 1,800 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And you just saw how that offense really didn't do so hot after he got injured. Dallas wound up finishing 17th in points. Now, moving ahead, the Cowboys are at least on solid footing when it comes to their franchise QB, as they have just committed to him. The question, of course, is going to become, was this a smart choice? Now, the critics of Dak Prescott will call him overrated, mediocre, etc., stat patter, all those names, while Dak Prescott supporters will be like, listen, he's the team. Like, he's the whole team. Without him, we don't do well. Which I kind of get. And if Dak Prescott actually hit the free agency, he was going to get paid a crap ton of money. But Jerry Jones decided to go into his Scrooge McDuck vault and scoop out some gold coins and go, here you go, Dak. This is going to hurt, but here you go. Just imagine me older and more Southern and not knowing how to manage a football team. Now, this does open some interesting implications for a guy like Russell Wilson. He named the Cowboys as one of the teams that he would like to go to, so we can cross that off the list. And so Bears fans right now are like, is it actually happening? But Dak Prescott coming in, getting an amazing deal. You look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who I mentioned in the intro. Yeah, that man wants to talk to the Packers and be like, hey, I'd like that kind of money and commitment. So now everything kind of falls at the feet of Mike McCarthy. Obviously had a not fun time last year. Dak got injured, so maybe you give him some leniency for last year. But now you have a healthy Dak Prescott. You have a healthy Ezekiel Elliott. Go make football happen. So only time will tell if the Cowboys actually made the right decision here. We'll see how Mike McCarthy runs that offense and if they are as successful in the stat sheet as they are in actually winning games. It's going to be an interesting season for America's team. I mean, and if they fail, we can just laugh at the Cowboys again, so that's always fun. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. How do you feel about this contract? Do you think that the Cowboys way overpaid? Do you think they made the right decision in securing Dak? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy on all social media. See down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at Patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. We had a pushback Madden Monday. We should have been at 7:30, but we're going to go live at 8 p.m. Eastern right after this video comes out, so I hope to see you there. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.